Audrey! Let me make a little room here.
You're doing what? Running me over? Okay. Hi.
I saw two people that just walked by me, and they said they know who you are, and one guy said he just saw you.
Oh,
and he
good.
says he wants to know all about this.
I'm at the hub, right? Isn't that where I'm
Audrey,
supposed to
look
be?
at you, a beautiful tan.
Well,
the good life. Is that what it
I'm
is?
feeling kind of pale after being here for a while, let me tell you.
Okay. You're going back soon, aren't you?
Yeah, Monday.
Okay. So how you doing? We've got to wear our seatbelts.
I'm good because I'm not freezing today.
Yes, it's been cold.
Yes.
It really has
I've
been.
had a bit of trouble getting out of bed in the morning. I don't understand. It's dark. It's cold.
Well, that can be a good thing too, right?
Well,
why not?
For a lot of people, it is.
Right. So you're getting itchy to get back home?
No, I'm always happy wherever I am. And when I was here, it didn't bother me. When I lived here, the cold weather, you just do it, you know?
Yeah.
But then once I realized, all the decisions in my life have been made, the big decisions are made in a millisecond. The small ones take days, and the big ones just happen.
And this is a big one.
It was
one that
yes, a rather
How long
large.
ago was this that you made this decision?
We moved to Costa Rica 10 and a half years ago. So I've lived in Costa Rica almost as long as I lived in Nantucket, which astounds me. But the decision to move to Nantucket was a big deal too, which happened in a millisecond. And
Did you just pack up and leave and sell everything and decide to like Mosquito Coast it?
Oh, well, that was our original plan. When our youngest daughter left for college, it suddenly occurred to me that I didn't have to shiver anymore, because that's what I've done my whole life. I've lived in Massachusetts my whole life, and I'm a cold person. I was always cold. I could never get warm. 9 months a year I shivered, and that's no fun.
Right.
And if you like to be outside, like the older I got, the more I'd open the door and I just, I need to be outside. I don't like being inside anymore. I'm too wild, I guess. I belong outside with the other wild things. When we come up here and we're in a room with the doors and windows closed, the air feels dead. It's so quiet. I don't hear any animals or breezes or ocean or.
Right.
I feel dead, you know, and I adjust. But when we first get here, and now I'm good at going back and forth. The first time we came back after we had moved, we'd lived there for 3 months, and we landed in Miami and spent a night there, and it felt like I was on a Monopoly board. It was such a bizarre feeling to have such counterculture shock, you know, after having only lived there for 3 months. It was so weird. It felt like everything was so neat and straight, and there were no stray dogs and no hanging sign. You know, everything was just, it felt like a game board to me.
Yeah, sure, I see what you mean. Now, Why did you pick Costa Rica?
Well, it just happened. We went there for the first time in, I don't know, 2002 or something like that. We have 4 daughters. Our third daughter left for college, and our fourth daughter was not at all interested in going on vacation alone with her mother and father. So we went to Costa Rica to visit her friend Vanessa, who was going to school down there. And the same thing that had happened to me in Nantucket happened to me in Costa Rica. We got off the plane, and there was no rational thought about it. I just felt, oh yes, this feels good. I go more by what it feels like.
What about your husband? Does he go along with you, or does he you have to convince him?
The thing about moving to Nantucket took a while, because we had this beautiful house that wasn't that old.
Oh, where was that?
In South Hadley. When we decided to move to Nantucket, and we had come out to our cottage here that we rented most of the time and used it a couple weeks a year, and we had come out to the cottage. We'd been gone for 2 weeks. We got back home. I went out to get some takeout Chinese, and I was on a road with McDonald's and parking lots and gas stations, and I burst into tears. I came home and I put the food on the counter and said, we have to move to Nantucket. I can't handle this anymore. I don't want all these cars. I don't want all these parking lots. There's too many lights. We got to get out of here. And he was like, are you crazy? You know, we have this beautiful house. My business is here. Our kids are here. Like what? And I just said, sorry, we have to move to Nantucket.
Oh my gosh.
And that took a little bit of talking.
Yeah.
But
he came around.
He did, and he loved it. It was so good. You know, that was...
That's part of the reason why he married you, probably, right? Because of this spirit of yours.
So fun.
He likes it. You bring him out of his shell.
I'm very entertaining. Yeah, he's kind of a quiet guy, you know. But that worked out so well, the move to Nantucket. I mean, I never thought I would leave Nantucket. I was so grateful to live here. I loved every minute of it, every inch of it, every person on the island. I loved it. I wrote a weekly column for the newspaper.
Yeah, you were really around. Everybody knows you.
Great things about Nantucket. And then quite a few people were probably very upset with me when I said, well, okay, I'm done. I'll move into the jungle, you know. But I had to go. And I never, ever would have imagined that I could ever leave this place. And I still love it. But we change.
Yeah.
I mean, if we allow ourselves to change.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm all for adventure. You know, I was just sitting there on the bench outside the hub waiting for you, which I have never done because...
Really? You never sit on the bench? I do it all the time.
I sat on the bench outside the hub. And I thought, oh, this is great.
It is great.
And if it had been 20 years ago, I would have thought, uh-oh, he's late. Am I late? Did I get the right place? And I just was like, yeah, there's no
So you picked this...
I fell in love with the country.
You fell in love with the country.
The minute I landed. And then, you know, we have a habit of going to look at property like when we're in a place that we really like. And we just started looking around, like we went back, you know.
Oh, you kept going back, sure.
And then
vacationing.
We started looking around for property to, you know, retire in or have for a seasonal place. You know, I never planned to leave here. But we thought we'd start looking at property, and we looked for a couple years, and then suddenly I just knew we had to move there and not just spend part of the year, because we couldn't do both.
Why? What was it about this area? Economics.
Well, I mean, we couldn't afford to have a place in Nantucket and a place there, so we had to decide between the two.
Yeah.
And I went for the warmth, and it was a huge thing. I mean, I've been like a die-hard mother. I was a stay-at-home mom.
But what is it about this property, though, that made you give up Nantucket to go to this place? Is this the first property you've owned there, or have you owned others?
Oh, no, this is the first one. We looked for a few years. We looked up and down the coast, and we're in the Nicoya Peninsula, and we looked up and down the coast at a lot of different things. Our original plan was to buy a lot right on the beach, which is still affordable there. And
you still?
Well,
to this day?
Yeah, where we are in the middle of nowhere. Like when people say, oh, you went to Costa Rica to retire, we are not in a condo with a, you know, we're in the middle of the jungle, truly. Like we had to bring in 36 electric poles to have electricity where we live. We're about 1.5 miles from the closest little village. We're on a rise. We built our house on a rise, surrounded by mountains with a little line of ocean out in the front. Thousands of acres of wilderness around us. We have a little house about 100 yards from ours where one of our daughters and her Costa Rican husband and their 2 children live. So I have grandchildren with me in the middle of nowhere. And there's one other house in the whole valley, and that's it. It's just us. We are out there. Even the locals think we're crazy. They all moved down from the hills when they started a ranch in our area, and they all came down from the hills a few generations ago to get work.
I see.
They all think we're crazy to live out there. It's wild. We have all kinds of creatures and critters, and we have to drive through a river to get to our house.
But what's the beach like?
The beach is over 5 miles long, deserted, fabulous, beautiful, hard, fine sand. It's gray sand, so it doesn't look like a Nantucket beach, but it's flat. So when the tide goes out, you're walking on perfect, hard, squishy, but not, hard.
Yeah.
you don't have to walk hard. It's flat, and it's always got a little layer of water over it, so you don't burn your feet. And the sky reflects in the layer of water that you're walking on, so you're walking on clouds or moonlight, or it's fabulous, you know. And so many mornings we go out there and go for a walk and think, wow, this is a lot warmer. We used to get up at 6 every morning and walk around the cemetery before Bill left for work.
He's working?
No, when we were in Nantucket.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, no, he's working there now, too.
He is, too?
Oh, yeah. Well, we went down there and everything cost way more than we thought it would, and, you know, we didn't know what we were doing.
Once you land at an airport, how long does it take to get to your property?
Well, the airport we prefer to use, it's 3 hours from our property.
3 hours.
So it's 2 hours on a paved road and an hour on a dirt road.
Got it.
We're like an hour and 15 minutes from a paved road. Yeah.
What about a hospital?
2 hours away.
Yeah, 2 hours away. Does that bother you at all? Are you
no?
Not worried about it?
Because we're so much healthier there.
Yeah,
I don't want to live next to a hospital in case I get sick. Because
I know, but
we are so much healthier there. To me, it's worth it. Like here, you go to the doctor and they give you blood pressure medicine if your blood pressure's high, and then you give you another kind of medicine because the blood pressure medicine is giving you something. All I see are people getting old and sick here.
Yes,
you know, we're so much healthier there. I would rather enjoy every day and be healthy and drop dead than spend my life sitting inside taking more pills to stay alive and not be able to move. You know, Bill's lost 45 pounds since we moved there, not intentionally, just because we're healthier.
Wow.
The weather's awesome.